Live from Dallas-Fort Worth, this is WFAA News.
Shots fired from a rooftop on a van of detainees at a Dallas ICE facility.
So I'm going to ask everyone, please join me in praying for the families of the folks who lost their lives today.
One detainee killed in the shooting, 2 others listed in critical condition, and investigators say the gunman took his own life.
This all, of course, comes at a time when attacks and threats on ICE agents are up 1,000% since January, according to Todd Lyons, who is the acting director of ICE. For a better idea of what's unfolding inside these different detention centers, we spoke with an immigration attorney.
So for an ICE detention facility, it is like an ICE jail. So, I mean, individuals are in like often orange jumpsuits. It's very cold inside. They're on regimented time frames on when they can eat. Sleeping pads are very thin. So very similar to a jail. Now, just because they're detained does not mean, and I just want to be very clear with this, does not mean that they have to have any kind of criminal history whatsoever. So immigration is civil law. You could be detained for multiple reasons, and we've seen an increase of detentions during the Trump administration for individuals with no criminal history.
All right, so some perspective there. We're going to hear more from that immigration attorney coming up at 4:30, specifically about the overcrowding that's happening inside some of these detention facilities that he has actually been into.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth, this is WFAA
Violence
News.
has no place. It is wrong. And we should come together. If we want to have a debate about immigration policies, we can do so in the halls of Congress without demonizing each other, and especially without demonizing the men and women who every day put on a badge and go risk their lives to keep us safe.
Senator Ted Cruz in Dallas condemning the shooting at an ICE facility this morning. We also spoke with an immigration attorney about what he's seeing inside these facilities. He says the biggest problem he sees is overcrowding.
I mean, it's definitely not comfortable to be in these facilities. And this is even before the Trump administration. So remember, these facilities have been around for a long time. But they're very crowded. So it's not a time, it's not a time to be in there. But in terms of like, are there tensions inside the facility? I haven't heard of a lot of fights in between immigrants inside the facility. Now, what I have seen a trend of is lack of like medical care and things like that because of the overcrowding that's occurring.
Yeah, tonight, law enforcement officials are working tirelessly to figure out why a gunman opened fire on a Dallas ICE facility this morning around 6:40 a.m. before turning the gun on himself. And tonight, we know 1 detainee is dead. 2 are in critical condition.
Yeah, the attack has heightened concern in some migrant and minority communities. Richard Solomon joins us live in the newsroom after speaking with leaders about those fears.
Well, yeah, guys, all day we've heard from federal, state, and local leaders. But this afternoon, I spoke with Attorney Domingo Garcia, former national president of LULAC, who calls this a targeted act of violence. I want you to take a listen.
The political rhetoric, the use of bigotry and racism and hatred is causing violence.
LULAC is one of the oldest and largest Hispanic civil rights organizations. Garcia tells me his heart is with the victims and the families tonight, but says this shooting, this is the second shooting to happen at an ICE facility in Texas this year, and each one has spread more fear. Now, Garcia says that these facilities already carry a sense of fear for immigrants, and when shootings like this that happened today, especially when detainees are hurt, it only reinforces the belief that these centers are not safe. Today, we also spoke with an immigration attorney who reminded us that this building isn't just for detention. Many families go there for routine immigration appointments.
We really have to, I think, take a step aside and say, these are human beings' lives on both sides of the equation, and nobody should be physically harmed.